wow, just talked about electric vehicles, the changing environment of the world as we know it in the automotive industry, cars, economy, all those sorts of things. All that ties into this particular story. And all I can say is you really, really need to understand the demographic before you really jump on ship here with this. So just to kind of give you an idea, and I'll say this: it happened before, but hey, I lost my.
I got it right here.
Huh. Yeah. Anyway, it's in the Bay Area. Our lovely friends over in Cali.
Beautiful area. Sometimes. Trying to push the envelope a little too far too soon, maybe.
Right. I think so. And so they've got this California program. It's a grant program, and they're offering, I think, anywhere between $5,500 and $9,500 to trade your gas car for an electric vehicle. It's cash for internal combustion clunker deal in lower income brackets. Now, I think now, did you read the fine print on all this?
Some
Keith?
Of it.
Okay. So here's what I know.
Honestly, was trying not to have an aneurysm while.
Well, you have to qualify for the grant money,
right?
And you have to be in a specific income bracket, and it's single income household or double income household that can't exceed, say, $70,000. Well, let me ask you a question. If you own a house, you're probably in a different bracket. Mm-hmm. If you're not, and you won't qualify for it. But someone here, people that live in apartments, man, that don't have a house and a garage, how are they going to buy the EV? I mean, they can't afford the EV. I mean, it's just kind of weird.
Or it's their only car, and then who drive? So I'm not even down that road with it. I'm down this whole. Okay, we saw this. You and I witnessed this in the automotive industry in the past in the Cash for Clunkers program, and it was designed to boost the economy. Right during an economic downturn, they were trying to promote sales of new automobiles. Yes.
Right.
The problem that we ran into is we had people trading in. All right, so this is a personal issue of mine. I'm fully able to admit that I have a problem here. Okay, I'm about to open up live in front of all of our fans. Okay, and come clean. I have a real problem with throwing things away that aren't broken. I do. I have such a problem with that. My wife and I will, it's like, we don't use this anymore. What do we want to do with it? And I'll go get rid of it, and she'll head towards the trash can. I'll be like, whoa, hold on. Time out.
Right.
Give it away, right? Like, don't throw it in a landfill if it works, right? That TV is fine. And I understand you want the greatest new 8,000K, whatever. Our 4K one's still good, and the 3D glasses still work. Can we give it to somebody? All right.
Right. Or at least give you the opportunity to repair it yourself, which that's another problem that we have, is that right to repair in our industry.
Push that heavily.
And modify your vehicle, right to repair and modify your vehicle. But we also saw it on the tech side, where you had tech manufacturers that was it Apple that wouldn't allow you to go take your phone in and have it worked on?
Yeah, so Apple has. I feel like we're beating up on Apple on this podcast, and maybe we are a little bit.
Well, they started all this stuff.
When they started all this stuff, memory fusing it directly to the motherboards of their laptops so that you couldn't upgrade it. And it was clearly a planned obsolescence move. And they were like, oh, no, but it works so much better if we make it this way from the beginning. And it's like, well, how? There's no data to prove that. But yeah, so it's planned obsolescence. And to some extent, that's what's going on here. I think the problem that I have with this is you're prematurely disposing of perfectly good automobiles, even if there's a problem with the car itself. Like, let's say that the rear axle is busted. Well, if the engine's fine, it can still be used in another vehicle, right?
You can salvage the engine.
You can make the argument that this is taking polluting engines off the market, right? That you're getting rid of internal combustion engines that pollute. And that may be true, but I don't think it's a fair trade, because where are those engines ending up? They're ending up in a landfill somewhere before their time.
Exactly, and I think that the age limit was 2005 and older vehicles that they want you to bring in, because obviously there was another level of emission standards that came out in 2006 and 7 and later, even on the industrial and heavy duty side, diesel engine side. But the problem you have with programs like this, you got to realize, man, that when you're taking perfectly running vehicles, or like you just said, say the engine blew a head gasket and you didn't have the money to repair it, and this looked like a sure deal to get into an EV, I'm going to get incentive money and grant money and all that kind of stuff. Great. At the end of the day, you're still going to be paying a lot of money. And then I bet you they're going to render these vehicles like they did the cash for clunkers way back in 2008, I think it was, or 7. And when that happened, they basically took perfectly good engine blocks, cores, cylinder head cores that were rebuildable, and they were pouring stuff down these engines so that you couldn't.
Yeah, it's like a
rebuild
stolen
them to
cell
ruin
phone.
them.
It's like once you report that phone stolen, it gets blacklisted on every network. You can't reactivate it, even if it's a perfectly working product, right? And
absolutely.
Yeah, so now we're just creating more trash, right? I mean,
right. Well, not only that, we're taking jobs away from machine shops, engine rebuilders that can, and repair centers that could
the original green
vehicle,
movement, right? Don't throw it away.
The original
fix
green
it.
movement, right? And resell that car to somebody who can barely afford the $5,500 incentive that you're getting. Right? Exactly. So there's, that's what I said. The demographic and where they're going with this is, I don't think it's very well thought out. It is California. It's kind of like,
Yeah, I just, man, have they solved their electrical grid problem there yet? So we're going to put more of a demand on the grid in a state that's known to be having rolling blackouts, and there's just so many things about this that I just don't, far be it from me to offer an opinion, but
right. Well, this is called the Clean Cars for All, and they're saying that it can be used with another program, and it's only 76 zip codes. It's the Bay Area. It's not everywhere in the country. It's only in California. But this buyback program, the other buyback program, gives local residents $1,200 if they scrap their 1997 or older vehicle, and that is federal incentive for new EVs. Interesting. Wow. I don't know, man. It's just I think we're jumping the gun on this thing.
Yeah, I do. I feel like we didn't learn a damn thing from the last time we tried this. But, at least if there is a silver lining here, it's one city doing this. And if they recognize the errors of their ways soon enough, it may not catch on. Jay and I don't have... we just did 2 segments on EVs right before this one. We don't have anything against EVs. I just...
Right.
I have something against lack of common sense.
Well, at the end of the day, the EVs that they are trying to get people into, I think the cheapest one is probably around 30, 35,000, maybe closer to 40, which is on the probably Chevy Bolt or Volt range or whatever. Chevy Bolt, the little tiny. Well, maybe they can, the Tesla RV, man, or RV, Tesla ATV, the quad, maybe they can afford to buy that. But the people that they are targeting with their threshold to get the incentive, they can't afford to buy the EV, man. It doesn't help them. $5,500, $9,500 towards a $55,000 electric vehicle or a $40,000. That's not a whole lot. You're breaking the bank, guys.
I got it.
Okay.
Here's how we're going to solve this. We're going to come up with a new Ford, GM, anybody. Chrysler, you guys are kind of late to the game. Stellantis, you might want to pick up with this one and run with it. We're going to come out with an affordable. I told Sideshot last week, we don't say cheap. When we're referring to luxury EVs, we say affordable. Yeah,
a value engineered
electric vehicle that fits well with this program. Okay? We're going to call it the Honky Chateau. Oh man, I'm playing on so many levels with that one. you get the reference, right?
That's a good one. I do. I get it, man. I love it. That's perfect. So, good way to incentivize
Honky Chateau coming to a dealer near you.
Honky Chateau
soon.
Exactly. Buy one. Get you one. Wow.
Didn't see that one coming.
I didn't see that one coming at all, buddy. But that's a concern. I think that people need to pay attention to those things, Keith. I'm with you on that, man. I think that we have a long way to go in that understanding the auto industry by some of these politicians and how it really works and how it really does stimulate an economy. Gasoline engines create a lot of jobs. I'm not saying the EVs don't, but you can't say that you're going to end the world's problem by having an all-electric vehicle world. That's just not going to happen. So that's my take on that. We have a long way to go. And again, as Keith and I have said, we don't think that electric vehicles, all battery electric vehicles, are going to be the game changer. I think it's going to be something else, and we're just bridging our way there with the batteries that are being built and put in these vehicles.